Okay, everyone, wanted to do another video entry into my Ukraine series. Lately, there's been a lot of talk about a mineral deal between the United States and Ukraine, and a lot of discussion about the United States trying to get Ukraine's rare earth minerals. So I want to do this video to try to answer three questions. One, what are rare earth minerals? Two, does Ukraine have any? And three, if they do, is that any good to the United States? So let's start with the first question. What are rare earth minerals? It is a basket of 17 heavy metals found in the Earth's crust. If you are standing on the Earth, you are standing on top of rare earth minerals. The question is, where can you find them in large enough and dense enough concentrations to where they are commercially viable for mining? The answer to that is there's lots of places you can go. The United States has quite a bit. Canada, Brazil, India, South Africa, Vietnam, Myanmar, China, Russia, Greenland. There are lots of places you can go to get them. They're not particularly rare. They're actually very, very easy to find. Second question, does Ukraine have any? The answer is no, at least not any appreciable reserves large enough for commercial mining. The United States Geological Survey has not found any, and neither has any other survey. However, a lot of media reports have been saying that Ukraine has these enormous reserves of rare earths. So why the discrepancy? And the last couple nights I've been trying to figure this out, and the conclusion I've come to is it comes back to a 2022 proposal that Ukraine did to try to convince European mining interests to come into Ukraine and invest in mining operations in Ukraine. They put out this really slick, nice pamphlet, and sorry, in it goes through all the various materials they can mine, like titanium, graphite, lithium, cobalt, nickel, none of which are rare earth minerals. There is a little section in it where it mentions that 3 of the 17 rare earth minerals are present in Ukraine. It does not give any numbers, does not state the size of any deposits, and does however state that there is no commercial mining of rare earth minerals going on in Ukraine as of 2022. It mentions that a little bit of 2 of the 3 is taken out as part of their titanium extraction. Ukraine does actually produce quite a bit of titanium. So the answer to the question, so backing up, Axios got their hands on this pamphlet. Apparently, whoever wrote the article did not seem to understand what it said and thought that all these things, like the graphite and the lithium and the titanium, that those were rare earth metals, and has been putting out articles saying that Ukraine has these huge reserves. And if you look at the numbers they're putting as the size of the Ukrainian reserves, that would mean, if Axios was right, that Ukraine had more rare earth minerals than literally every other country in the world put together times like 5. So no, they do not have any appreciable reserves of rare earth minerals. They have other minerals, like I said, lithium, titanium, nickel. I mean, there is other stuff to get there, it's just not rare earth minerals. So question number 3, if there are any in Ukraine, which it appears there are not, does that do the United States any good? And the answer is no, it does not. The reason why is that the United States is already the 2nd largest producer of rare earth minerals in the world. The 3rd largest producer is Australia, with whom we have very good trade relations. And Vietnam is, it's either 4th or 5th largest producer, and they've already become one of our top 10 trading partners. Now, obviously, there's reserves in Canada and Brazil and other places. There's plenty in Greenland. We have mining rights in Greenland. We don't do it because it's in freaking Greenland and no one wants to go mine there. The point is, the United States has access to all the rare earth minerals we could possibly use. At our current rate of production, the United States known reserves have a lifespan of about 45 more years, which means I will be 90 when they run out, assuming they don't find any more. So the question then becomes, well, then why is this a big deal? The answer is rare earth minerals in Ukraine, or anywhere else for that matter, are not a big deal. The reason rare earth minerals are a big deal for the United States is because we use them in virtually all of our technology, our cell phones, our computers, our iPads, all of our military tech uses rare earth minerals. And the problem is that all the refining of rare earth minerals, all of it, is in China. It doesn't matter that the United States has lots of rare earth minerals. It doesn't matter that we can get more from Canada or Brazil or India or South Africa or Vietnam, because it all has to get shipped to China for refining. If we find deposits in Ukraine and we get exclusive mining rights, we still have to ship them to China for refining. The refining of rare earth minerals requires huge amounts of acid and very, very toxic chemicals. That's why only China does it. Nobody else wants to do it because the toxic waste it produces is so nasty and so big. So There was a plan in the Biden administration a year or two ago to try to set up some rare earth refining in the United States. I do not know what became of it. I don't know if it ever became active or not. With what is currently going on in our government, if it is not up and running, I would assume it's probably not going to be anytime in the future. But the point is that if the United States were to find huge rare earth mineral deposits in Ukraine, we still have to send them to China for refinement. So it does not do anything to create a secure supply chain for the United States. And again, we are the second largest producer of the minerals in the world, but we do not do any of the refining here. So that is the problem. Now, there is a mineral rights deal coming between the United States and Ukraine. If I were Zelensky, I would give the United States all the rare earth mineral rights they wanted in Ukraine. For the love of God, come in, dig around, try to find some. Good luck to you. And please give us more weapons in exchange for that. Get something from the Americans by giving them nothing. Another thing to consider is, again, let's assume I'm wrong. Let's assume the U.S. Geological Survey is wrong, and there is tons and tons of rare earths in Ukraine. The problem is they are in Ukraine, which means you have to go to a war-torn country with poor infrastructure and terrible demographics to try to mine them, and then you have to ship them to China, which means you can either rail them across Russia, that doesn't sound very secure, or put them on a boat, sail them through the Black Sea, which is currently a war zone, through the Dardanelles, into the Mediterranean, through the Red Sea, through the Suez Canal and the Red Sea, which is currently a war zone, and then all the way across the Indian Ocean, through the Straits of Malacca, and up to China, and we are back to the same problem, which is China controls all the refinement. If you want a stable, secure supply chain of rare earth minerals for the United States, we have to build refining capacity either here or in an allied country, like, say, Mexico. There are certainly other options. That's just the one that pops into my head. But either way, we'll have to see what this deal says. Again, there are valuable minerals in Ukraine. There is titanium, for instance. There is lithium. Not saying there's nothing there, but there's not rare earths. And even if there are, they don't do us any good. So either way, hope this has been informative, or at least not terribly boring, and hope everyone has a good Saturday. Bye-bye.